Hey, welcome back to the Heroic Galaxy. We legit just came back from seeing Suicide Squad, so we have not talked about it. That was really hard, and we're about to give our review. We'll do a little general review, and then we'll get into spoilers. Um, what was your initial thoughts on Suicide Squad?
I really liked it. I
Okay.
really liked it. Action was good. Characters overall were really good. Joker and Harley was awesome.
Okay.
I love them.
Anything
Yeah.
else? Like,
I liked it a lot. I mean, there's a few things here and there that bugged me. Um, but it wasn't enough to ruin my movie going experience.
okay. So I got highlights. I got Will Smith was good. Harley, we got Margot Robbie was good. I really like Joker. I think that's he's gonna be a divisive character. I think he's awesome. He looks like he has history.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are going to compare him to Heath Ledger's Joker, but it's a completely different Joker. But I feel like Jared Leto did really well. I loved the Joker.
See, I don't think that's gonna be a problem because it's so different. I think people are just not gonna like him, just a bit like Lex Luthor. I think he's that kind of character where he's
Yeah,
very
except but this
quirky.
is
He's very
this is more fitting, and for Joker. I don't know. I loved him Lex Luthor.
so
I mean,
so. I think he's quirky. He's got his stuff. I like him. Um, uh,
Margot Robbie, is she an Aussie or a
she's
Kiwi or
Australian.
something? Yeah.
Yes.
Every once in a while, the accent popped out every once in a while to where I was thinking she is Australian or New Zealand or something. Like I
No.
could hear it every once in a while.
Okay, so I still got my highlights. I got Will Smith. I got Margot Robbie. I got um Joker. And I like Killer Croc. I wish they did more with him.
Yeah, he wasn't in it
He's
very much.
good. So first act's awesome. Second act's good. Hated the third act. The bad guy is the worst. It is dumb.
Yeah,
It is. You know how they say, oh, let's have a generic something. I'm being very vague because I don't want to spoilers, but it was like there's no substance to it. Katana was pointless. Like, why is she even in the movie?
yeah, it's like, oh, we need to put another person in there.
Um, uh, I didn't like the guy who played Rick Flag. He grew on me as the movie went on. I don't know if he became better with the character. What was his name? Who's Rick Flag? Rick Flag. Rick Flag.
It's not on there.
How
It
is he
doesn't
not
matter.
on here? How's he not one of the top?
It's
He's in it a lot.
Flag.
He's probably, he should be a top three build cast because he probably has the most lines in the movie.
Yeah.
And I did not. I thought the actor was stiff. Um,
Yeah, there was something a little off. So wait, are we doing positives first and the negatives, or overall? What? I don't know in what order you want to do this in.
I was just, yeah, I just wanted to have your general thoughts and then my general thoughts.
Oh, well, I was going positive first, and then I was going to do negative later, but okay. So I did what I liked positive. The characters are fun and yada yada. Negatives, Cara Delevingne or whatever
Oh
her name
yeah,
is.
oh
Her
yeah.
acting is no
No,
bueno.
she's a model. She's a model
It's
in this movie. She's
and
not.
you
She doesn't
can
know how to act.
tell that
It's
they
bad.
pretty much only used her for her smoking hot body for the movie because that's basically what it is. Um, also, as a makeup artist, it drove me insane. The Harley Quinn's makeup, it's like perfectly lined with two perfect smudges, but there's still a lip line right there. Most people aren't going to notice that, but that literally drove me insane.
It's funny because I just saw a thing on an article about how they were so OCD about the makeup to keep it
The
that way.
eyes were super good, but the lip liner, just no. The hair ties, sometimes it was a hair tie, sometimes they were like the things to cover it. The continuity was no good with the hair ties.
Okay, yeah,
These are small things
that's
that
small
drive me
things.
insane, but most
So
people
you
aren't going
you
to
you
notice.
only have little things that bug you. See, I have major
The
things,
the
and
end, I don't want to do the spoilers yet, but yeah, there's stuff in the third act that bugged me, but it's all spoilers.
so
So
I would still say it's a okay to good movie. Like if you like comic book movies, you're gonna go. I think you'll enjoy yourself. It's not a waste of money.
yeah,
If you're not into comic books, it's not gonna. People are not. I don't think you're gonna care too much about it. And then there may be even some people who are DC people may not like it. Some people will. Um, and I think there's this huge uproar about DC fanboys who are like, oh, these are like You know, they want things. Everyone wants good movies. Like that's the thing. Like we want good movies. A good movie. More people like good movies. Like just because some people like a movie doesn't mean it making a good movie. Uh, so let's. So I think so. Those are our general thoughts.
Yeah, for me, it just for me, my expectations were super low, but I have such strong feelings for Joker and Harley Quinn, and they did so many nods to, the original versions and stuff and I feel like they got it right. I loved it.
so
That relationship at least,
well, it's weird because in the animated series, Joker doesn't give a shit about Harley. Like it's an abusive relationship, but here he likes her. So it's like they
Well,
changed that
here
about
it's
her.
still slightly,
Well,
abusive too. He's just realizing at the end. He's like, oh, maybe,
well,
you
because
know.
I okay, we're going into spoilers. Spoilers, spoilers. Don't get mad. Spoilers again. Um, okay, so the they put the team together. Even that concept is a bit eh. But the bad guy is Enchantress and her brother.
Which is annoying
It's
in
dumb.
itself.
It was
Not
dumb.
only because it's dumb, but again, like they had to sexualize her character. So I'm not trying to be all like, yay, feminists, but they sexualized her character so much that she has to be a half naked chick, and then her brother is like this big
See, I
king
don't.
god looking dude.
See, I don't even think she's sexualized. Well, it's an old ancient civilization. So is
Yeah,
she in
but
her
why are
bandages? Who
they
cares?
brother and sister and then he's this big god, looking thing who's not really humanized that much at all while she is human looking with, you know,
Well, until she,
jiggling her body and stuff half naked. Like exactly. Sure her maybe they realized, "Oh, she can't act, so let's just make her dance up there a little bit." I don't know. And then like it was all not her voice, right? They did
no, that's her.
is it? And
Yeah, that's her.
they just
They just did some
tweaked it.
some tweaks, but so yeah, it's this is the worst. Like the stakes are so high, legit. Like blue light in the sky. I'm not even kidding. It's a blue light in the sky, and then all of a sudden they cut at a blue light cutting up a freaking uh a ship, and it's like a blue light destroys a satellite. It's like there's no yeah okay we get it the Earth's gonna die, but it's like this movie would have been so much better if maybe the bad guy could have been someone like the Joker, and maybe like there's like the Joker's in
No, because
this.
I feel like the Joker, they want to keep prolonging the character and they don't want to have him like be defeated at the beginning,
Yeah,
you
but
know?
well, just because you defeat him doesn't mean he's dead.
And how are you gonna have Harley fight against
That would have
Joker
been
if
awesome to know. Like
yeah,
she's like I have to fight him, but I have to
maybe in
fight
a
him.
future movie they will do that,
But we
but
can't. Like, we're talking about just this movie. That's the thing is you can't be like, oh, that's the problem. If we don't have good movies, these movies won't continue.
well, I understand that, but we had a hunch that the Enchantress was going to be the bad guy because she's not in the previews like at all. But
Yeah,
I was hoping that
it's
it would have been
it's the
better.
witch that's the enchantress, and it's like this old mythical thing. And the thing is, you don't. That's the problem is they don't. You don't even get a background. Like she's building this thing. You don't know what it is, and she's building, and it's electrical, and they don't explain to you what it is. At one point, they show you it destroying stuff. And her brother, yeah, um, is 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 a it's almost like Aztec looking, maybe a little Egyptian. It's like you don't know, and then when they tell you, oh, she went in the jungle, they don't tell you what jungle, which jungle, where. It's like
It's just generic,
you legit
yeah.
have no idea. Um, and I think that also hurts it because at the end there's sort of a cool battle, but it's not because Diablo is like, I'll reveal who I really am, and
That was cool.
he it's cool, but now I'm like, this doesn't make like his it was almost like the inner god. It was very Aztec.
Yeah, he looked
It was
super
a
Aztec
Mayan or
god.
Aztec. It looked cool. But then this other one was from a jungle, which maybe what it made it sound like it was in the Central America. So that would also been Aztec or whatever or Mayan. And so that's why I'm like, yeah, these two like there's this little god fight, which also is like there's legit like gods fighting. What do they think Harley Quinn's gonna do? Deadshot.
Well, I think
These guys like they couldn't have
no.
done
Well, that's
anything.
the thing. When they were fighting, I thought, see, I disagree with that point because I feel like when the two like fire gods or whatever were fighting, I felt like it was super badass
Yeah,
and the other people, they're just kind of watching going, what are we supposed to do? Because I feel like there's nothing they can do, so they just watch.
Which Rick Flag knew that that's how powerful them. So why did they even send them in? Well, actually,
Well,
that's
they
not true
didn't
because
know
no, we do know why they sent them in because they sent them in to go get
Viola
Amanda
did,
Waller.
yeah,
Which that's so Amanda Waller is just like in the comics and stuff. She's basically she's trying to do good, not really. She's still like
a horrible
a
person.
horrible person. She like shot people because they had like top secret information they knew about the whole thing. Um, and then but this like you can tell the editing also. There's the one scene that you've seen everyone has seen in the trailer where Harley Quinn hits the window and she grabs the thing and she's like, "It's bad guys, is what we do." It's so out of context. There's nothing. It literally just
Yeah,
you go from one scene that happens and then there's another scene and it's like
that
there.
bothered me as well because I feel like they only put that in there just to have her bend over and have her ass out.
So I feel like they're trying to make these characters it's too many characters. It's they're rushing it. I understand they want their cinematic universe, but it's they need to take more of their time, and I think they're starting to figure that out. And that's the problem is they're trying to jump in 2 feet in the pool like right away. They just it's going too quick.
No, I
Like the Joker Harley movie, you could have a movie just about them, and it would probably be awesome. And like this movie's a okay movie. Like it's okay, but it could have been so much better.
yeah, I
But you
mean,
got to
of
remove
course it
things
could have
from
been a
it.
lot better, but I feel like they did a good job with, we already said spoilers. Like Batman does a little nod and then they have the Flash coming and helping and getting to, bad guys and stuff like that. And I feel like that's a good build up to the future of the Justice League movie, or are they making a Flash movie? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I feel like that's a good build up. But yes, there were too many bad guys like at the beginning or like midway. There was one that they didn't really introduce and then all of a sudden, huh, head blown off.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Slipknot. Yeah,
Slipknot,
Slipknot.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like okay, they used
But
him just as a point. But like you said as well, Katana, there was just really no point in her being there. Croc, I feel like they didn't, or Killer Croc, they felt they didn't, they wanted him in the movie, but they didn't really know what to do with him. So there were a couple things here and there, like, oh, let's have a joke with him here.
which I
But
think that works really well. Like
yeah,
I
but
feel his moments pay off.
his character, like I don't know much about Killer Croc, and I feel like I still don't after that
Yeah.
movie.
So and that's I think the main issue here is if you don't already know these characters, and the thing is the people who are get mad and are like, oh, I don't understand why these movies don't get good reviews. It's because you already know the characters. So we know some background. Like I like Batman vs Superman more than most. The extended cut is a better movie. It still has problems. Um, but like here, example, like I don't have a problem with Slipknot dying right away because he has no intro. He is a throwaway character, so who cares?
No, I know.
So I have an issue with like I either think like Joker and Harley, there's something cool there, but it also feel like it's just thrown into this movie. It doesn't really fit in. Like he's like trying to free her and
I yeah, keep going. No.
he's trying to free her throughout the movie, and then yeah, he gets her, and he frees her out in the end, and like they have a cool dynamic, and I like both characters. They're good in this movie, but there's not an either. I don't think there's enough. Like I think there's too many distractions that take away from this movie.
Yeah, this movie would have been just as good or better if it was just Harley, Joker, Deadshot. What's the guy? Angelo, the fire guy. That was his name, right?
Diablo.
Diablo.
But
Angelo.
then the
That's
thing
his real
is,
name.
then it's not
Angelo.
the same movie. If you have
Diablo. Exactly. Diablo. And then like I feel like those are the only characters they really needed. The other ones are just kind of there.
yeah, but like then you have to make a whole different movie. That's like that because it's the obviously yeah, like you said, these they're unnecessary. So it's like and don't get me wrong, I still liked this movie. I am frustrated that they're not better. Um like that's the thing is well, oh, you shitting on the movie. I'm not shitting on the movie. I thought it was okay and I enjoyed myself and I'm looking forward to future movies. I just get frustrated where it's like there's all these rumors we've been reading about Warner Brothers brass going in and messing with it, and that is obvious when you look at this movie. The editing is not good, and some of the reshoots are blatant. Like you have the intro scenes, like it just there's no cohesiveness between the scenes at times. Like like I said, like the Harley one, and it's just it's a bummer because it could have been so much better. Like I think this movie, it's still gonna make a shit ton of money, but we'll see. I think people are still gonna like this more than Batman vs Superman in general.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I did.
like right now on Rotten Tomatoes, it's actually lower than Batman vs Superman. It's actually gotten worse reviews, and I think that has to do with not the movie. I think that has to do with the marketing because you go to this movie. We had some people who came with a kid. This is not a kid's movie.
I would have seen that movie at that kid's age.
Yes, but not everyone. Like just like Batman vs Superman, the real cut was an R-rated cut. This movie should have
Yes,
been.
but this isn't an R-rated cut. You know, it's a
I think it would have been a
PG-13
better
movie.
movie if it's a R-rated
Yes,
movie.
but so many movies would be better R-rated, you know, in the perfect world. But of course, you know, not everything can be Deadpool, and not everything can make as much money in an R rating, and I have to do it so the most amount of people can go. But yes, the editing is not great. The marketing, it does going watching the previews, you feel like you're gonna see a different movie.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Exactly. You think you're going to see a different movie. So when reviewers go to see a movie or anybody, you expect something and you get something totally different. And you can tell the music, they try to establish like a lighter like sense
I like the
of
music.
being with the music, but it doesn't always fit. Like in the trailers, the music is timed to like the bullets falling and all these things. None of that is in the movie. None of it. Like
Yeah, but they do that in trailers all the time.
no, not
Yeah, if there's like a new thing of, I feel that the music links up with trailers pretty good about fightings and fightings with punches and bullets and stuff. And like, yeah, this is one of the movies that did that too. So I didn't expect the movie to have music going with the the movie.
yeah, well, I disagree. I think like often you have scenes in movies like you'll have montages where it'll go to the fight or it'll go to those things, and that trailer made it feel like that was
Yeah, but
gonna
there aren't
happen.
that many like one-on-one fight scenes either. You
No,
know,
but like in the trailer there weren't either, and then the music had so that's like that was it's I think that's an issue and why I think this movie is reviewing so badly is because there's was an expectation of they tried to sell this as a Guardians of the Galaxy, and of course people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, you're loving Marvel." Guardians of the Galaxy has a lighter tone, has more jokes, is has it's a different movie, and you can tell that
it's a different kind of weird.
yeah, but this movie you can tell that in the reshoots they added those jokes, like that bar scene that was not even in the original cut, and they add a couple jokes, and you can tell there's a couple. This movie was supposed to be like a gritty like movie, and you can tell that they've tried to make it more fun. Which the thing is, a lot of those jokes do land, but then that's the problem with the cohesion, and I think that's why like these. And I'm looking forward to every DC movie. I'm not gonna stop going to the DC movies. I want to keep going, but like the movie makers need to be allowed to make the movies they want to make. That's the problem. Zack Snyder did not the movie that came out in theaters was not the movie he wanted to make. And I don't think this was David Ayer's movie he wanted to make either. This is what some big wig in Warner Brothers is like, hey, we this needs to be in the movie and this needs to be in the movie, you know? And then so I think that's the problem and that's what these movies are struggling a little bit even though they're still enjoyable. Like I personally preferred Batman vs Superman to this movie.
Really.
Yes. Um, the extended cut. The extended
See,
cut.
I did not manage to make myself sit through another Batman versus Superman movie because I was one of those people who really didn't like it. Um, yeah, I really didn't like it. This movie, I really did like. There are a lot of things wrong with it, but overall, I enjoyed myself. It's a movie I'm gonna see again. Um, it, for me, there's a lot of things wrong with it, yes, but there's a lot of things wrong with a lot of movies. So for me, I still feel like this one did better. It did better than I expected because I wasn't expecting to love it, and I really loved it.
So well, that's good. Like I thought it was.
I went in with low
Yeah,
expectations.
but so, but what if you went in with high expectations? What do you think you would have came out of?
I had high expectations on Joker and Harley. Those are the only characters I truly know and I truly
Yeah.
love. They're the only, so I had high hopes on them, and I feel like they got that right.
Yeah. So and I think that's also something that reviewers online are like sometimes some people have personal preferences and sometimes people don't get a character and sometimes that's just not going to work. Like some and you're going to have people who are going to like this movie and you're going to have people who are just not going to like it because they don't like certain characters. And that's, so be it. I liked almost all of these characters. Rick Flag, not really. Enchantress, she, Cara Delevingne,
I feel like they could
God
have
help
done
her.
so much better for that character, and
I think they should. I would have been like, don't even put Enchantress in this yet. I would have been like, I think this movie works if you. It doesn't need to be the end of the world. First of all, if it's the end of the world like that, uh,
where's Batman?
where's Batman?
I know,
Like,
especially since you have him in the
yeah,
movie. They're
exactly.
like, oh, let's not get Batman's help. Like, I don't.
Like the world is gonna end. That's the thing is this is not a like.
It's
Uh,
not a, oh, there's a problem only in
yeah,
Gotham.
it's
No,
it's
it's
satellites are being destroyed in space. That this lightning is destroying ships in the ocean. It's the whole world. Like which they don't. And then it's like, oh, nobody knows that these guys are there. People aren't idiots. Like there's news, there's cameras. They're like, oh yeah, everyone's disappeared.
what was evacuated.
It was. It's a bit ridiculous. And of course, yes, you have that in the Marvel movies. Like, oh, where was Thor in the last movie?
Exactly. Where was
Um,
Thor?
so it's one of those things where that's just part of comic book movies that's gonna happen. But like
Yeah, maybe they'll
you
explain
look
where
at
Batman
Iron Man
is.
3, that's more of a local thing. You don't need the
Ugh,
Avengers,
even
and
I
and
didn't like it.
and same thing with Iron Man 2. Like they're not end of the world things. They're a more of a one-on-one character problem. Like this is the end of the world. If the world's gonna end, where are the other superheroes?
Yeah.
Like
It
that
needed to
breaks
be
it.
less. I don't
Yeah,
know.
like if I think I wish, and I wish, I hope maybe this still happens. Like maybe I hope. Then I know there's an individual Batman movie coming up. I would like to see this Joker as being the bad guy, and I do wish this. I think
I want them to keep him around forever. I loved this Joker.
so. Oh, yeah, it was good, which is so crazy because I remember when they first released the photos, we're like, oh God, what is this? Especially you hated it.
Well, okay. Like I said, Harley and Joker, very personal to me. When they showed like the damage tattoo on the forehead and the ha ha ha's on the chest, I was like, why is this person? No. But what Jared Leto did with it, he did so well and it fits to that version. It suits them to
Yeah,
have the little face tattoos and the chest
it
tattoos.
fits the world that they've created,
Yeah, it
and
fits that version.
yeah,
If you would have taken that Jared Leto and put him in The Dark
he's
Knight or whatever, it would not have gone
He's
well at
he's
all.
he's the Dark Prince of Crime. You can tell he's like a drug lord, like gangster figure. It fits. Like you do feel that he's like in charge, like of the underground in Gotham.
Yeah, and like
Um,
that's why I want them to keep him around forever
so
because I think they did real good with him.
and I hope they do, but we'll see what Warner Brothers does because they overreact. They've been overreacting to everything. Um, I hope they. So we'll see. Because right now I don't think he's expected to be in any other future movie yet. So and they have movies for the next 6 years. So I don't know if there's gonna be another one.
I hope they do.
I hope they. I like Joker. I hope he sticks around. Harley too. I'd like to see more Killer Croc. You know. Um, so that was our thoughts. She loved it. I thought it was good, not great. I'm more frustrated with it, but that's because I want it to be better. Like I like it. Like that's things I do like it. But when you like something and you know it can be really good, that's when you get frustrated. So, that was that.
I feel like go in with low expectations and be pleasantly
That's
surprised
no.
or be right. Like that's how I live my life.
Oh man, no. But yeah. So that's our review of the Suicide Squad. I know it was a little disjointed, but um, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you guys around.